I'm at Whole Foods and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my... That's the coolest thing ever. I'm at...
Soon you will be able to pay for groceries at every Whole Foods in the U.S. with just a swipe of your hand. Amazon says that the Pay by Palm technology will be at all of those stores nationwide by the end of the year. Customers just have to hover their hand over the device to pay. This method is already being used at 200 Whole Foods locations across 20 states, and you can also find it in other places, stores like Panera Bread. Hardware editor at TechCrunch, Brian Heater, joins us now. Brian, let's just start off. Tell us how this technology works.
Sure. So in terms of the actual enrollment process, the first time you go to one of these Amazon One locations, you wave your hand over it. That will enroll you in the program, and then you associate that with a credit card that you have on file. In terms of the actual underlying technology behind it, it's not actually getting a read of the palm itself, which, I think is what most people expect. It's actually taking a look at the vein patterns underneath your hands, which Amazon is effectively saying is a way to do this kind of biometric identification without actually giving any identifying information away.
That's fascinating. I mean, I think anybody who hears this story immediately goes to questions about safety, privacy, the data that's being collected. Amazon has been criticized in the past for some of the data that they collect, and whether they have properly notified consumers about that. What safeguards is Amazon taking?
Sure. Well, the primary one is all of this is going through Amazon's cloud servers. So this is encrypted information. Amazon has generally done a good job of protecting privacy through the cloud itself. I think one of the sort of bigger concerns around this specifically is that unlike the biometric data that you're giving on your phone, for example, that's stored locally on the device itself, but this is going up into the cloud. So like theoretically, somebody could potentially grab that data, but it's intensely difficult.
All right.
Shalom wa thawada.
All right, Shalom to the 144,000. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. And this is another GMS in traffic. I'm on my way to camp, and this is just some information that I came across before I left for camp. Well, this video that the brother Yashalam put up, the beloved brother here in Great Millstone, New York camp, that video he just published about 30 minutes ago, and I just caught it while I was on the road. But it was a spirit, because on my way to camp today, I had planned to do this lesson. Whether I got to camp early enough, I would park up and do it, but it seems like I'm making it just about on time, so I cut the camera on now, being that I'm waiting in this fucking traffic. And this is an article from CNBC. Amazon will soon let you pay for groceries with your palm at any Whole Foods, but tech experts urge caution. So I was just going to briefly read this article, but the brother pretty much summarized it into a video, in which a couple of things that I found interesting in the clip that he played before doing his lesson is that the technology doesn't actually read your physical palm, because everybody does have a unique palm, fingerprint, palm print, etc. They say no two people's fingerprints or palms are exactly the same. And so we know that that's a device of the wicked there. That's a evil idea for him to track everybody by unique biometric identifiers such as your palm, your fingerprints, which they've been doing this for a while, your eye retina, etc. But he said that the technology goes past your skin, underneath the layer of your skin, and reads your veins in your hand, which is even more creepier. I mean, how does that sound safer? I mean, I guess to the peon mind, you know, the regular people out there in the world, they say, oh, you know, wipe a sweat off of their brow, thinking that that's somehow less invasive or less risky concerning your privacy of your, you know, biometric identity. But that's even more creepier to me, because we ultimately know that all of this, as they're bringing in this MOTB system, this beast technology, is all leading to that RFID microchip implant, which is going to be under your skin anyways. All right, it's going to be read from underneath the layer of your skin. It's a subdermal implant, the rice grain. You know, they want to put that under you, and that's going to be the thing that these machines and these readers, these RFID radio frequency readers, identify you as through your chip, your microchip, which is directly inside of your body, which means that, you know, it pretty much got your blood type, your heart rate, your pulse, everything. You know, any medical or any biological thing that's going on in your body, these chips are going to be able to tap into. Just like you have something called a pacemaker, which this is technology they've been using for decades for people that have bad hearts, and it helps their heart beat. And what is it doing? It's sending signals. It's literally an RFID chip that sends signals to your brain that tells your heart to beat. So this man already has the technology. He's been had it, and he's, you know, basically figuring out a way. He's not even really figuring it out. He knows how he wants to introduce this thing. And you know, I can't understand why you would have Israelites talking about how many wives you could have, and, you know, all these things outside of, you know, the apostles and elders. They do responses to these videos because it needs be. You know, you have misinformation even amongst Israel. And we're, you know, here at Great Millstone, we are like the spiritual fact checkers, beginning with the apostles on down. So I get it why we would have to do a, you know, response video to it. But I can't understand why you have all this news out here, which is basically social and physical conditioning people to the mark of the beast. It's basically, how they would say gradualism, but even training. You could say that they're training people to start using the microchip. A microchip implant in their hand. That's what all of this really is, man. So, you know, I just find it surreal. It almost feels surreal that this is actually happening. You know, we've been prophesying about these things, beginning with the head apostles on down, for years, and we're seeing it. You know, we're actually seeing it and giving testimony and giving report, as Isaiah 53:1 says, who had believed our report. You know, we've been reporting on these things through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and warning you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that this is the mark of the beast, not to take it. And yet here it is, they're bringing more and more of the technology forth as we're warning you. It's like it's happening in real time. You know, we'll do a video and they'll counter our video, not only by taking the video down or labeling it misinformation or fake news, but they're also bringing it forth exactly how we're telling you they're bringing it forth. You know, so reading a little bit out of this article, it says in the near future you'll be able to purchase things with the swipe of your hand. Now that's alluding to the chip. That's what you would call, I guess, like a double entendre, or, you know, somewhat of irony, because they're not really talking about the chip per se, but even though deeper under the layer of skin, under the deeper layers of your skin, so to speak, they are talking about the chip. You see how spiritually ironic these things are? It's not really irony. It's really Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that's doing these things. You know, and it's really the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that has us saying the things that we saying, and having these devils say the things that they say, and rolling out the steps necessary that they're rolling out, in the sequence and how they're doing it. It's all been planned out already. It's working on your psychological mind. And that's why the scriptures say that we are not ignorant to Satan's devices. We know his evil schemes, man. We know what he wants to do ultimately, because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai forewarned us through the mouth of his prophets. All right, through the word, and the prophets speaking these things. It says Pay by Palm is already available at over 200 Amazon-owned Whole Foods Market stores across the country. And that's what you've seen in the first little clip that I played, the YouTube short, which showed that woman getting all excited, that devil Edomite woman getting all excited, so-called white woman, about paying with her hands, saying that's the coolest thing ever. You know, so they got you people, man. You people, they won't even have to force this microchip to a lot of you people in America. You willing to take it. You're going to run and go take it. Because you think this is the coolest thing. They're going to offer you the UBI of $2,000 a month or whatever. You know, which, by the way, this video is currently going up on the Chariots of Israel 3. Lord willing, I'll put it up on the Chariots of Israel 2 next week when I get my channel back. But they gave me a strike for that video that I did about the $2,000 a month for the for taking the chip. Labeled it medical misinformation. But this is their information. They're the ones that's coming out and saying we're offering $2,000 a month for these things. But yet, when I do a video on it, it's medical misinformation. You know, I don't understand. You know, these devils. I mean, I do understand, but you know, these devils. They really how could I say it? They really just don't want any other narrative. They just want you to believe whatever they tell you. They don't want nobody coming out with the scriptures saying that it's the mark of the beast, even though we all know it is. Even the so-called Bible scholars know it is. What's wrong with you Israelites at saying that it's other things? Maybe you sold out. I don't know. Maybe you're working with this same devil, because it seems like the same information we preach, you Israelites are against it as well, just like the so-called white man is against it. So I don't know. Maybe you are of your father the devil. John 8:44. But reading on, it says, and by year end of 2023, all 500 plus stores throughout the U.S. will offer the payment option, according to a July 20th press release. This means customers who sign up for the Amazon One program won't need their wallets or phones to pay for groceries. So what happens eventually when enough people sign up for it? Then the next step is, oh, well, you can't shop any other way than using your palm. You know, for whatever reason it may be, fraud, you know, credit card fraud, or whatever reason they make up. They may make up a boogeyman situation, you know, a false flag like they always do. I mean, this shit is so fucking played out. The fact that anybody's still falling for this ultimately shows that when the scriptures say that people are in darkness, is true. When the scriptures say that the Heavenly Father had blinded the eyes of the people of this world, it's 100% true. Because how can you people not see this when he uses the same techniques or the same strategies or whatever agendas every single time? It's played out, man. I'm not even planning on signing up for this shit at all. For what? Why the fuck would I want some machine reading my veins under my hand? And that's supposed to sound safer than them reading the actual palm of my hand, which is a unique identity that's, you know, the Heavenly Father gave me as a person. You know, they claiming that it's safer this way, or it's less invasive. That's more invasive. It's going deeper under your skin. It's going deeper into your biology, your veins. Come on, bro. Amazon One is a type of biometric-based form of payment which uses your unique physical features such as your face or palm print to authorize payments. Here's how it generally works. You sign up for a biometric payment program such as Amazon One by providing your credit or debit card information and other details like your phone number or valid ID, depending on the retailer. Then you scan your hand, face, or fingerprints, which are attached to your user profile. From there, you can use your hand, face, or fingerprints to pay at certain participating locations. However, some tech and cybersecurity experts are expressing concerns about this evolving technology. See? It's an evolving technology. Knowledge shall increase at the end, in the last days. Scriptures tell you that. And that's what's happening. This technology is going to evolve into you taking a microchip. And you heard it first here at Great Millstone, man. This is the only Hebrew Israelite camp that I know of that's actively doing videos and putting out this information as soon as it comes in. This article was just published. Well, damn, nah, actually, what? No, excuse me. Yeah, that picture was from July 16, 2017. But hey, sometimes we do find old articles and do videos on it because it's relevant to the times. But in particular, this article was just published today, Saturday, August 26, 2023. So as soon as the article came in, as soon as I heard about it, get the video prepared. You know, turn the camera on. You already know what scripture I'm going to go to, right? You already know. But, yeah, I'll link it in the description. You can check it out for yourself. Should I need to tell you the concerns of this? Does anybody really need to hear what concern this might bring forth? Using your palm, your veins in your hand to pay for shit? Well, let's just go to the scripture. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. A charagma, when you go into the Greek. A charagma is an incision. All right, even in the ancient, what they would call hermeneutics, you know, the ancient history of the word, somewhat of the etymology of the word charagma is a Greek word. And during the time of the Romans, they were using it as how they would prescribe things or inscribe things on money, on coins. And what would that take? An etching, a carving, cutting into. They also refer to it as the serpent's bite. So if I'm not mistaken, when a snake will bite you and puncture your flesh like that, they will also call that charagma or charagma. All right, the serpent's bite or the snake's bite, which the needles, hypodermic needles, were actually modeled after serpent's fangs, a viper's fangs to be particular. All right, that's a fact. You could go look it up. They have pictures of different type of snake fangs and scorpion fangs and different animals that secrete venom out of fangs, and they have a picture of a needle, and it's exactly the same. All right, hypodermic or subdermic needles. That's the technology that the so-called white man is using to implement this mark. It says in their right hand or in their foreheads, because you have the brain chips and you have the rice grain, which goes into your hand or anywhere really in your body. But when we go into that word hand, I want to go into that real quick, being that they're talking about using this hand technology, right? The palm of your hand. And we've been doing videos on this, man, since what you call it? It's just, this is the word for right hand. There we go, hand right there. We've been doing videos on this since they were talking about the Amazon Go or the Palm Go, whatever it's called, technology. We've been doing videos on this. I remember doing several videos on this years ago, and now it's here. The word for hand in the Greek.
Strong's G 5495. Chayer. Chayer.
Chayer, which means by the help. Well, let's just get the actual literal definition. The hand, it just says the hand. I mean, your hand could represent things, sure, but it's literally just talking about your hand, because that's what they're conditioning people to pay with, using your hand, your palm. It doesn't really say much here, but it's just your hand. You know, in your hand you have your power, sure. You know, there's more deeper understandings to it. It's not talking about figuratively your hand, meaning your action and where you put forth. It ain't talking about putting a mark in your mind, and it doesn't say and your brain and your hand. It says hand or head, forehead, which forehead is metapon in the Greek, which is basically like the seat of your mind, you know, where your spirit dwells. That's where they putting that Neuralink chip. That's why they having people walk that can't walk. All these problems of people that can't speak, can't see, is all brain. It's all neurological. All right. And you have a study called neurology in the world. And Elon Musk has been paying and funding billions of dollars to this type of study, neurology. To do what? To eventually put microchip implants in people's brains. And this is really the point, man. This is how we really know what the mark of the beast actually is. And no one, I'm reading that NLT, and that no man should buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Reading it in the NLT, and no one could buy or sell anything without that mark. You see? So this has to do directly with economy, with currency. Just as we see they're bringing in the CBDC at the same time, conditioning you to pay with your body parts, with your eyes, your hands, etc. So basically the day is already here, man. This technology is already here. All right, it's not something that we no longer prophesying of. We've been prophesying of it, but it's actually here now. And you just wait until they bring out the chipping tents or the chipping stations, as Elder Apostle Tahar mentions all the time. You know, then we're going to see what the people are going to do, especially you Israelites, man. Especially those of you who have scoffed against this prophecy. And, how you say it? And, prophesied falsely concerning this prophecy. We're going to see what you're going to do in that day and what you're going to say. All right, because it's here, man, and it ain't going nowhere. It's like it said in the article, this is an evolving technology, and truly they've already had it for decades, man. They just now bringing it out because it's time. It's time that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is making them do it, because we're in the day, or we're in the time frame, should I say, because there's literal day of the Lord, but we're living in the time of the Lord's return. This is the generation. This is the time. So all of these last minute prophecies, they're going to come to pass, including the war of Armageddon. But before that, we're waiting on this thing to be made mandatory, to be mandated by law. That's what's going to happen. This chip thing, this whole technology is not just going to be a thing of convenience. It's going to be a thing of necessity. You're going to pay the price of your freedom over safety. You people are going to choose safety and convenience over your rights. All right, over your privacy. And the Lord, he ain't with none of that, because he said all those that receive it, they're going to be burned in a lake of fire, and by the Lamb with his holy angels and the chariots, so-called UFOs. So that's what you people got to look forward to. You know, you're going to be eating human meat and bug burgers, fake clone meat with your microchips in you, until the day that Yahushua comes and destroy these kingdoms of this world. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Don't take the charagma. That's to the elect. The elect already know that. It's written in your spirit. And according to Revelation 3:10, Yahushua is going to keep his elect from falling into this temptation and taking this beast, this mark of the beast. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom. Lord willing, I'll see you in the next lesson.